Okay, so today I wanted to do a video about why I no longer consider myself a feminist. When I first started going on YouTube a couple of years ago, although I did have some issues with some aspect of feminism, I never got the whole man-hating thing. I always believed if there really was this elaborate patriarchy out there oppressing women, I always felt that men were just as oppressed by it as women were, and that they shouldn't be blamed exclusively for the state of the world, and that women participated in the oppression of other women just as much as men participated in the oppression of women. So, I just never got the whole man-hating, blaming men and women are 100% victims aspect of feminism. I always thought that was a bunch of crap. And that, it seemed obvious to me that women were not perpetual victims. That women are capable of violence and evil and greed and gluttony and lust and all of the sins of the world that some feminists will try to tell you that, oh well, if the world were run by women, there would be no rape and there would be no war and there would, we would just all sit around and hold hands and sing Kumbaya. I mean, that's just, it's a bunch of crap. But anyway, back to why I'm no longer a feminist. I believe that to the extent that feminism ignores the violence and the evil that women are capable of and commit on a daily basis, that harms women, because women hurt other women. So to ignore the evil that women do, it's only going to encourage that kind of behavior in women if you're going to ignore it or excuse it, and that's despicable. It's obviously going to undermine any attempt you make at trying to convince anyone of the validity of any of your arguments if you're going to perpetuate such an obvious lie and ignore the harm that women do to other women, and ignore the harm that women do to men, and try to act like any of the evil that happens is all one-sided, is all men against women. And that's just not true. It never has been true. I don't like the way feminism prioritizes women's problems over the problems of men. I think that men face just as much sexism as women do, are harmed just as much by sexism as women are, if not more so, and to ignore that insults people's intelligence. It hurts men, which indirectly hurts women. Directly hurts women. Women depend on men for protection, for support, for propagation of the human species. Men are just as important as women are, and to the extent that feminism ignores that simple fact, it's not good. It's despicable. And it's like I say, it's one reason why I can't consider myself to be feminist. I think that women as a group put men in a catch-22 situation where they're expected to be providers And then again, they're also expected to be, family men and help us around the house and, give 50% where that is concerned. We really can't have it both ways any more than women can have it all. Men can't have it all either. And we need to stop putting so much emphasis on materialism in general. If we can be happy with a smaller house so that our husband can spend more time with his children, that's a good thing. Children need fathers just as much as they need mothers, and I think it's important to recognize that for the sake of everyone. There is no one that is benefited by discounting men, by downplaying the sexism that they face. There is no one that is benefited by that, except maybe whoever's rooting for the destruction and the downfall of humanity. I don't know who that would be, but that would be the only person that would benefit. It wouldn't be womanhood. So, that it really, to hate men and to ignore men's issues is ultimately misogynistic in nature. It's not just misandric. When it comes to prostitution and pornography, and this is one thing that really sort of started me thinking about the bullshit that a lot of feminists spew. And of course, anybody that knows anything about feminism probably knows that there's a division between anti-pornography feminists and so-called pro-sex feminists that don't believe that prostitution and pornography are innately oppressive of women, and they believe, that women have their own free will and their own sexualities. They can actually make the decision to go into those fields and even enjoy their work, and it doesn't mean that they're being oppressed or brainwashed or exploited by men necessarily. I think while it is true that there is a lot of degradation and exploitation that goes on when it comes to prostitution and pornography, I think the only way to change that is to change our, really to be more honest with ourselves about human sexuality in general, and stop making people feel ashamed of their sexuality. I think the anti-prostitution push, the anti-pornography push is nothing but an extension of the traditional anti-sex dogma, I guess, that people preach. And it wasn't honest or a terribly good thing necessarily then. Well, there may have been some positive aspects, but there certainly were a lot of negative aspects, and now I think that people, in a day and age where people are more educated and more affluent, I think that a loosening of sexual mores is a natural thing, and I don't think you're ever going to eliminate prostitution by making it illegal, or eliminate pornography by making it illegal. It's just very hard to legislate those kinds of human impulses, and I think if we could do more to foster healthy relationships between men and women, I think that would do a lot more to eliminate the need for prostitution and pornography than campaigning against those things. And I think, unfortunately, that women nowadays don't really know what they want for men. They're not really honest with themselves about what they need from men. They're very dismissive and disrespectful of men in a lot of ways, and then they wonder why they can't get what they need from them. Well, you have to, a relationship is a two-way street. You can't totally disrespect and disregard the other person's point of view and then expect them to love you back and be able to take care of your needs. It just doesn't work that way. So I think when women mock men and make them feel unnecessary and disrespect their contributions to society, to the family, etc., it doesn't do anything but hurt them in the long run, and hurt society as a whole as well. So anyway, that's a summation of why I no longer consider myself a feminist. I very much am not a supporter of traditional sex roles. I think that they are too confining and too dishonest to too many people, and that needs to change. But I think in order to change, men and women need to work together. This demonization of one group and power struggle is pointless, and it's not helping anyone, and I think civilization is just suffering because of it. So anyway, thank you for watching my video.